What's a harmless thing people do every day that's actually slowly destroying them? Scrolling through social media like it's gonna fix my life when it's really just a rabbit hole of disappointment and cat videos. Constantly saying yes to things they don't want to do just to avoid conflict or disappointment. Sitting too much, not getting enough restful sleep, being in a constant state of fight or flight, drinking excessive caffeine to power through the day, not realizing they are just running on fumes, sedentary lifestyle. Um, the top comments I read and my reactions: overeating, oof, you, that's me. Not getting enough good sleep, also you, okay, wow. Looking at others instead of themselves, this is hitting a bit too close now. Over sitting, looking after others instead of themselves. I would say eating and drinking all the marketed healthy food that is actually a bunch of sugars and fats. Scrolling on social media for hours, comparing their lives to filtered highlights and fake perfection. Winding down with alcohol. Posture. Highly underrated comment. My old lady has had bad posture since I have known her, and now her neck and back are starting to bother her, not to mention the humping of her shoulders. Think negative, critical, judgmental thoughts about themselves or others for that matter. Best to practice loving kindness and gratitude even for the wankers in our lives because they teach us about ourselves at least, but don't give them credit. Lie. It does make more damage to yourself than you know, not even considering the impact on others. Getting into the habit of eating a donut every day, something with drinking soda every day. The habit doesn't seem like a big deal, but it adds up. Lack of a balanced diet, living. When I was around 12 years old, I went for a hike with a friend. We didn't tell anyone where we were going, and my parents thought we were playing in the backyard. Well, our hike took us through the forest to a frozen river which we decided to walk across. Since it was spring, the ice wasn't as thick as we thought it was, and I ended falling through. My friend quickly grabbed me and pulled me backwards out of the water. The water was flowing surprisingly fast, and I remember at the time thinking how lucky I was that he was there to catch me. That was over 25 years ago, and I still have flashbacks to that and think, what if? Nobody knew where we were, and if he didn't catch me, I could have easily been swept under the ice. Not reading relaxes you, helps you concentrate, and improves mental acuity. Soda, letting emails pile up without responding, cigarettes, alcohol, sugar, energy drinks, not seeking joy in everyday moments, not prioritizing self care, sitting at a desk all day and camping in front of the TV all evening, drinking alcohol daily and being oblivious to the damage it's actually causing you, being late to things, worrying about shit that will most likely never happen and stressing yourself out for absolutely nothing. Have you found a way to legitimately overcome this? I struggle with this a lot. Obsessing over their appearance, stress, especially overwork, scrolling through social media first thing in the morning, like inviting a parade of other people's lives into your brain before you have even had coffee. Drinking alcohol, according to this article that I just read. Being a people pleaser. Stop saying yes and then holding on to resentment. I have had so many friendships frizzle out because of people not communicating with this simple word no. You are rude for doing nice things for the wrong reasons. I feel the tension, and it's made me fear that in future friendships, because you almost never know someone is bitter until they cut you off. Destroying is probably overstating it, but I do wonder how many people with money issues are buying little treats for themselves on daily basis. Smoking, drinking alcohol, fried food, sitting for more than 15 minutes, using social media for 1 plus hours daily, getting less than 7 hours of sleep, spending time with negative people, not eating high nutrition food, that is leafy green vegetables. I genuinely feel worse about 8 hours sleep than I do after 5 to 6 most days. The only time I feel more rested with more than 6 hours of sleep is if I was awake for 20 plus hours before that. The whole 7 hours minimum isn't universal. People's circadian rhythm can differ quite a bit. Working night shift, sitting for hours without stretching, turning us all into human pretzels one Zoom call at a time. Checking your phone constantly can be pretty damaging over time. It messes with your sleep, adds to stress, and can even affect your posture. It seems harmless, but it really adds up. Comparing yourself to others means you will never have a moment's peace. You will constantly thinking about how you don't measure up to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. It's ridiculous, don't torture yourself like that. Being a perfectionist, and I say that as one, nobody is holding themselves up to your insanely high standards. You will burn out in the record time. I wish I could make myself stop doing this, but I do it and it's a major problem. There's also I have to do things perfect or not at all. Don't do that. Doing things even half well is better than not doing them at all. Putting up with bullshit from people because they happen to share blood with you. As someone who self orphaned from both of their parents, I know that those people who you meet along the way and make your chosen family can mean a lot more. You are not obligated to put up with abuse of any kind just because you happen to be related to those people. Your peace is worth protecting. It took me a long time and a lot of pain to realize that, but if I could help even one person feel that, it would be worth it. Caffeine is making a bargain with the devil. Yeah, you might feel better in the moment, but it will take its pound of flesh from you and the crash later. Unless you have ADHD like me, in which case it will just make you tired, feeling like you have to be in a relationship or you fail. I was single for 6 years at one point, and boy, did I feel great. You learn so much about yourself, but you have to be confident as a person, and that's hard in a society where there's so much pressure on women. In particular, to adhere to certain social standard, there's nothing wrong with you. Because you are single, you should enjoy it. Sitting in front of your computer, your phone, your game console, etc., for decades instead of leading an active life and exercising. Cardiovascular diseases such as heart attacks and strokes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, dementia, obesity, cancers such as breast and colon, other colon diseases, osteoporosis, depression, anxiety, etc. These things are not only real, they are prevalent. These are the things that happen to people, and if you are spending years and decades not moving, they are building up in you. You don't realize it and won't until the doctor tells you what you have got and what you have to get cut out of you. It's easy, as you say, to say, crap, what happened to the last 10 years? Well, one thing that happens in those 10 years is you keep telling yourself you will get active. You tell yourself that in the next 10 years and the next, but you never do. Then it gets real and they are cutting out half your colon, and you look back at all time you could have done simple things to have kept you healthy, but you didn't listen or take it seriously. Now it's too late. If you are younger, it's not too late. People aren't saying this stuff for nothing but for real, regular, predictable reasons. And it doesn't happen to other people, it happens to you. And if you can do something about it now, do it. You will most definitely regret it later, sickeningly, and with a feeling of helplessness if you don't. Smoking, as a smoker, I know. No, I really don't personally care. I don't want anyone else to start smoking, don't do it. Regularly watching pornography, drinking excessive caffeine to put through the day, not realizing they are just running on fumes. Based on studies, apparently sitting all day, not getting enough sleep, no steady cardio, arguing with idiots on Reddit. This is not a judgmental because I do this exact same shit and that's how I know. Trying to please others, parents, siblings, society at large instead of living life on their own terms. Eventually, you wake up one day and realize you built an entire life you hate and you want out of it. Not exercising, sitting at a desk, it's the new smoking, drink 1 or 2 drinks a day, sugar consumption, negative self talk, being nice to someone who isn't being nice to you. You are literally programming your brain that it's okay to be mistreated, giving a fuck honestly. I bust my ass at work and the regional just expects more. But it is what it is, I guess. Being, being pessimistic as fuck. Undereating. Just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than overeating. The number of people that I have met who believe it's totally fine for their body to have one meal a day concerns me. Especially when that one meal is either very small or very big. I say this as someone who is still trying to kick the habit of eating one very big meal a day, thinking all natural ingredients are safer by default and buying less regulated or even harmful products as a result. Talk bad about themselves, repeatedly exposing themselves to COVID, a deadly and disabling virus that can cause damage to any organ, even in young people with mild infections. Eating more calories than you expend. How are you doing? One would be surprised how tough these 4 words can be at times. Reddit, especially during political seasons. Seed oil, sugar, pesticides, herbicides, food colorings, preservatives, emulsifiers, brake and tire dust. Spending too much time on Reddit. I only have one Mountain Dew a day. That's not a lot. Bro, there is literally enough sugar in one Mountain Dew to fill three-fourths of its own bottle. All of that is just sugar. No, it's just sugar. The rest of that one-fourth left in the other was crap that makes it neon green. Over 1 cup of sugar a day, in addition to whatever else you are eating, is gonna mess you up no matter what. We aren't built to keep doing stuff like that day after day, month after month, year after year. Breathing oxygen, sitting is the next smoking. Negative self talk, you can't hate yourself into someone that you love. Forward leaning head posture. Being stuck in traffic every day is slowly driving me insane. I fantasize about running people off the bridge, it's getting bad. Driving themselves to places that are less than 5 miles away when they have optimal bike riding or walking conditions. No heavy packages to haul, no traffic to avoid. They just prefer to drive their car up the street or something, eating excessive simple carbohydrates and sugars. For me, it's letting life pass me by. One day at a time, I can't help but feel it's moving so fast, and we should all really live life to the fullest while we can. Alcohol, drinking everything except for water, multitasking while driving, waste time on social media or online surfing. Time passes too quickly without the long lasting benefits you get from the real world experiences. I have noticed that a lot of people seem to be very fast and sickly since the early 90s, and that coincides with plastic taking over practically everything our food and drinks are packaged in. So I say just consuming food products out of plastic every single day is something that is harmful in the long run. Also, think about the soaps and shampoos and lotions with all the chemicals in them. There's a profit to be made of selling these products and then medicating the conditions from them. Just saying. Soda, especially with sugar, but maybe even sugar free sodas. That daily coffee drink with sugar too. Consuming buckets of sugar daily, creating long term health issues, killing us softly. Doom scrolling, staying up too late scrolling social media. Well, reading this was a bad idea. It's literally killing you. Not getting enough sleep, stay up late, missing sleep. Believing the news, living, eating crap food, car loans, doom scrolling and persistent connections to the internet. Scroll through Reddit over breakfast. Bad posture, living, eating themselves to death, driving, it poisons the air and is very stressful. Vote Republican, drinking, probably me drinking Diet Coke, but Q sera. Energy drinks, being sedentary or nearly so. I am guilty of it often myself. By the time I work an office job, come home and deal with house and family obligations, there's barely time to be active, much less energy to do so. But I see it in my body and those of my colleagues that it's hurting us. Telling lies constantly every day, not wearing sunscreen, sedentary lifestyle, sugar intake, carcinogens is just about everything from food to daily use products. Unhealthy lifestyle and unhealthy relationship. Buying shit on credit and then not immediately paying it off before any accumulate interest. Quiet quitting. You no longer pushing yourself to do your best because of circumstances. Just quit. I work with a bunch of quiet quitters and they're killing me on the inside. Eating processed food, non organic, glyphosate food, soda, energy drinks, household chemicals. Binge eating, working through meals, smoking, just one more cigarette, just one more beer, just one more this, just one more that. Driving aggressively in traffic. Why am I always stressed? Somebody actually gave me the keys to not be stressed by driving. Going to work every morning, using a paper. Social media of any sort destroying your attention span and self esteem, probably also your productivity. Doing nothing, stop being a fat, lazy, pause and work out. Being a yes man just to avoid conflict, being a people pleaser, keeping problems or feelings about spouses, co workers, friends, etc. to themselves until it boils over into an inevitable conflict that would have otherwise not been a big deal if you had just talked about it. Biting your nails. I know it sounds small compared to other stuff mentioned, but constantly biting your nails introduces bacteria into your mouth, ruins your teeth, and breaks your nails. It's a gross habit, and I say that as someone who used to do it all the time. Switch to stress balls, and I don't look like I'm chewing on my fingers anymore. Excessive drinking. Three come to mind. Drinking alcohol. Alcohol causes a cascade of negative effects in the body, including changes in mood and behavior, mental and cognitive deterioration, and damage to the heart, damage to the liver, damage to the pancreas, hugely increased risk of several cancers, and weakening the immune system. A 2021 study by British Medical Journal, The Lancet, estimated that each alcoholic drink reduces the drinker's life expectancy by about 15 minutes. Smoking. Okay, we know this one isn't harmless, but still a lot of folks smoke like it's no big deal. Smoking damages basically every organ in the body and can lead to chronic illnesses like heart disease, stroke, and a wide range of cancers. Over time, it causes reduced lung function, weakened immune response, and accelerated aging, significantly shortening life expectancy. Each cigarette is estimated to take 11 minutes of your life. Having children. Every parent knows this one. The stress, sleep deprivation, and lifestyle changes caused by having children have been shown to increase one's biological age by years. If you want to stay youthful and fit, don't drink, don't smoke, and don't have kids. Holding on to stress, drink alcohol, even one size serving, one glass of wine, one beer, etc., is enough to impact the quality of sleep immensely. Sitting at a desk, breathing, getting older, mindlessly scrolling through social media for hours a day, smoking, wearing shoes that don't really fit because of fashion, always staying inside their houses, not going out enough, and social media, holding on to resentment. If it's not important enough for you to talk about and communicate, then it's not important enough to get upset over. Either let it go or talk it out. Eating processed bread, breathing, bottle up their feelings, casual dating when it's clear you are a relationship person, lying out of convenience as someone who abuses energy drinks, drinking Coca Cola, sitting all day not moving much, scrolling their phones in streets, eating fast food for lunch every day, smoking of any kind, not just tobacco. Lots of people are convinced vaping and pot aren't bad for you, but it's still really not that great. Maybe not as bad as big tobacco, but still not good at all. Sugar. In Abraham Lincoln's day, the average American ate an average of less than 2 pounds of sugar per year. Today, Americans eat on average over 250 pounds of sugar per year. Seriously, I'm not criticizing anyone. We all grew up in this environment where this was considered normal. Now we all terribly addicted, and it's one of the hardest addictions to break. This is because we are all essentially hand wired to crave sugar for two reasons. Natural foods that are high in sugars are nearly all seasonal, so if our hunter gatherer ancestors found such a food, they needed to get as many of those calories as they could right now, because in a few weeks that food would be gone for another year. And our mother's milk is sweet and we crave it because if we didn't, well, there goes the human race. But our bodies were not made to have a constant supply of sugar. Just like you can drown in water or go blind in oxygen, sugar is also a poison in high doses. It's a slow poison, but poison nonetheless. Working a desk job for more than 40 hours a week. I work at a hospital and see a lot of patients in the hospital because of their sedentary jobs and lifestyle. Touching your face, drinking soft drinks, being in a noisy environment even though they think it may not be noisy, such as bustling school or even the car on the highway, noise can be surprisingly bad. Selfishness, not taking care of their teeth, overworking, inhaling tire particles, coffee, interacting with bots like OP on Reddit. It's a waste of time, and no one is going to move back and tell themselves, I should have spent more time answering the same 10 bot posted questions on Reddit. Drinking, marriage, constantly comparing oneself to others on social media can erode self esteem and mental well being. Sitting in traffic, eating processed foods. I feel like people will eat very processed foods just because its macros aren't that bad. Not moving, gotta get up and move around. I have a bad back, and some days I physically cannot move. Other days I can move with pain, and I do because the more I keep moving, the better my back feels. Even if it hurts the long run, it's better. Eating chemistry, experiments, processed food, not drinking enough water, taking over the counter sleep meds that contain diphenhydramine. It's extremely correlated to dementia, like super correlated. Sitting, I love it so much I can't stop doing it. I drink 5 or 6 cans of Coke Zero every day instead of drinking water. I know how bad it is for me, but I honestly don't care. Driving cars, eating sugar, drinking coffee instead of sleeping enough hours, sitting while working, getting their news from social media, not moving more. Wearing a cap equals to destroyed hairline. Watching the news, the amount of caffeine I drink, daily or hourly bonk trips. Breathing, drinking energy drinks, over supplementing, vaping, living, eating too much, skipping the gym, going to work, working night shift. I know people who drink more energy drinks that I drink water in a day. Absolutely horrifying. Adding salt and sugar might be part of some sauce or dressing to everything. Not minding your own business. Spending time on screens. With the way people drive, it makes me think they don't realize how dangerous it is even when you don't drive like a jackass. Breathing, damn you, free radicals. Smoking, obsession with sex, obsession over their phones and screen time in general, insular lifestyle, lack of fresh air, couch potato lifestyle, lack of adequate coping mechanisms for relaxation and dealing with stress, living in around close proximity to roads. Exhaust fumes are incredibly toxic, but people rarely think about this. They understandably just pick a place to live that's within their budget or convenient. Eating sugar foods and beverages high in processed sugar, this is seriously bad for you. Your brain on sugar may be as well be a 3-year-old with learning disabilities pushing too hard on the lavatory. If you are eating right, things should move naturally with only the gentlest of pushes. I have been in public lavatories where the person in the stall next to me sounds like a cat trying to shit through sewer pass hole. Drugs. People shove so much toxic shit into their bodies, it's ridiculous. And the arguments they make about the substances being natural or the benefits of using said drugs. Just don't. If your mind was supposed to conjure up images of pink elephants or you thinking you can fly without wings, your brain would have told you long before you poison said brain. Breathing oxygen, not speaking up and confronting people that annoy you or make you feel uncomfortable. It's like today's generation needs a bubble or something deflecting anything negative. It's insane. Eating sugar, drinking, worrying, suppressing emotions. Now I have endless issues with my body. Sitting, smoking, drinking drugs, porn and procrastinating, drinking soda, being polite to assholes, not paying attention, care to the people they are around. The old saying about you being the average of the five people around you, absolutely true. Sitting for hours watching TV, gaming, and scrolling Reddit. Smoking, eating chips instead of veggies, sitting, watching porn, not harmless but super common, vaping, eating fast food, TV, sitting too much, breathing, having a diet that takes energy away, not sleeping well, not weight training, not walking enough, living in autopilot mode without trying to be aware every now and then, not observing and making sense of their feelings, not becoming aware of the doom scrolling and cutting it then and there and commenting on Reddit, not being friendly or warm to strangers too. Apparently having a beer, procrastinating, just do the thing and reduce the stress of thinking about doing it. Get angry about things they see online that they can't do anything about or really don't affect them. Eating sugar on sugar. A family member says that vaping is harmless. Procrastinate going out into the sunlight, vaping, like how the fuck do people think that's healthy? Not flossing, scrolling my phone in here, anger, laziness, resentment, list goes on and on. Staying up late, not getting enough sleep, sleeping too much every day, you don't respect your body rhythms, makes you a little bit older and a little bit sicker. Eating highly processed foods, losing the internet, excessive amounts of cream and or sugar in coffee cause our money to lose value and tell ourselves it's a good thing. Eating absolute garbage. Sitting, look at the studies up yourself. Legit scientists have said that it can be as dangerous as smoking or abusive drinking. Sitting for too many hours a day without moving. Easy, not enough sleep. Even worse for you that eating a poor diet or not exercising, lack of quality sleep can take 10 to 15 years of your life. Easy. Not enough sleep and drinking alcohol, drinking bottled water, blow, smokes, booze, whatever other kind of drugs, poor diet, not working out, stress from work or a bad relationship. I don't know. I guess just waking up in the morning. Doom scrolling and eating rage bed. Eating sugars and processed shit. Poor diet, alcohol with not enough exercise. Consuming sugary drinks, sodas, fruit juices, sweet teas, etc. I went to a birthday party over a month ago. An older aunt asked if I wanted cake to take home because I hadn't eaten any. I said no. She then got disappointed and kept telling me to take some and pestering me. Eventually, others joined in and told me to just take it. Eventually, I said okay and I intended to go through it once and I got to my apartment, but I ate it. I felt bad because I have been trying so hard to cut down on my sugar intake. I am sitting here eating chips from a bag, sitting on the toilet too long, piles and occasionally even the chance of blood clots. Apologizing. You apologize when you did something wrong and you caused actual harm. Butthurt is not actual harm. People choose to be butthurt over the dumbest of things. If and only if it fits these two criterias, say that you are sorry. Shallow breathing, porn, hating people they do not understand, metabolizing things. Metabolism creates a lot of waste products that can damage cells and DNA. Over time, you will rack up enough DNA damage that you will die. Living will literally kill you. I go through times where I do crack every day and sometimes I don't feel that good afterward. I am pretty sure for me that you would be using Reddit. I usually end up back here for legitimate things like reading upon my hobbies, but I usually venture off into political reap and I kind of enjoy messing with people who I strongly disagree with. I am going to start exercising and eating healthy tomorrow. Sitting too much, drinking alcohol, staying up late, not sleeping right and not exercising. Nightcap, sitting, move your body, aging. I love you and I don't mean it. Every day I thought that about oil room. I can't stop thinking about it. The oil room, it can't hurt me, it can't touch me. The oil room is real. It isn't real. The big oil isn't real. Drinking alcohol, I am guilty of this myself, but it's when you see people perched over a small laptop screen. I can't see that doing wonders for someone as the years go on. Letting things slide to not hurt or disappoint others. The people pleasers will just keep saying what they think you won't need to hear when they should be prioritizing themselves and their family. Avoid working out, rushing too much when they do things in their day to day lives. So many accidents and mistakes could be avoided if people just slow down a little. Consuming sugar, smoking, drinking alcohol, vaping, teens don't realize how harmful these six actually are to work, sitting more than they are moving, breathing oxygen literally rusts your cells and is the cause of aging. Brain rotting their life away on social media to dull out the pain and need for actual change. Oxygenating. I've seen it with some people who exaggerate or embellish, then it gets worse. Then they just lie. Then they think their lies are reality and they convince themselves they are telling the truth. Meaningless, unproductive days, alcohol, breathing oxygen actually, browsing Reddit at that brown cow now I don't know how, aging, sit at a desk, frequently, corporate websites like this one, avoiding confrontation entirely, masturbation, putting off what they could do today for tomorrow. Oftentimes, people could be way more productive than they realize. Trying to be comfortable, every great moment in our life is achieved by going out of our comfort zone. I was at my worst when I was comfortable. Social media, sugar, not moving. Hours on Reddit, eating highly processed food, sitting too much, constantly checking your phone. It's not just a time sink but can also impact your mental health and disrupt sleep patterns over time. Eating sugar, use technology and social media, drinking water, eating unhealthy things because it makes them feel good or it tastes good, comparing yourself with other people, drinking any amount of alcohol, working in a non toxic environment, that's easier said than done. Here's a script. No, blah, blah, blah. No, thank you for thinking of me, but I am not doing that, blah, blah, blah. That would still be no, but blah, blah, blah. Morning, caffeine. Look at your parents and their parents. 10 coffee a day. Drinkers, also smokers. Nicotine is a stimulant. And now they move like the sand in their gears. They have lost the ability to produce energy and tolerate the feeling of fatigue, and the stimulants no longer work. Energy drinks have as much or more caffeine as well as additional stimulants. We are going to be catatonic by our 50s. Consuming ultra processed food, Reddit, scrolling Reddit obviously, work, it means you swap your time for tokens to buy food, services and products to make your life easier, and people believe it's necessary and it's harmless, but let's face it, it's one way or another way, it's slowly destroying the vast majority for us. Drinking a beer or two every day for any alcoholic drink, it doesn't even have to be every day. Drinking a glass of wine with your dinner once per week is already doing harm. Driving cars, wasting time on social media, the phone it bed routine, it wrecks your sleep quality to lay around watching YouTube for 2 hours and blasting your eyes with blue light. Playing video games, watching porn, and playing video games, watching Netflix, it's all fine to do, but if you do it every day, it can easily become an issue. Not drinking enough water. Sitting, we are all slowly killing ourselves with this sedentary lifestyle. Our bodies were meant to move. Having a drink every night is pretty bad long term. Living, choosing motorized or powered options instead of manual options. Sweep and rake instead of using a leaf blower. Ride a bike instead of driving a car. The sweeping and raking one really irks me. It only takes slightly longer or even less time when you include maintaining the power tool. It is quieter, more therapeutic, healthier for your body, and doesn't blast dust every one. Leaf blowers are the fucking pits. Most of us are incredibly unhealthy physically. People who drink multiple cups of coffee, it's not good for your heart. Breathing, junk food, not getting enough sleep, and that's about it for today's video, guys. Tell me in the comment section what is the most relatable answer you have found, and also let me know what is the answer for this question for you. And yeah, this is my first ever video, so please do like, share, subscribe and comments. I will see you in my next one. Bye.